We're book daddies. We don't really know what we're doing, but we're here to talk about books and writing because that's what we are. I'm Adam.
I'm Austin.
Tell us why we're here, Austin.
So we really just want to talk about what we love. We love to read. We love to write. We love all things sci-fi, fantasy. Yeah, we just want to be able to share that with you guys and talk about different ways to improve writing, to be a better reader. Yeah, just a bunch of things. So
Yeah. Yep. Alrighty. So kind of content that we're going to be making is just going to be about like books. So we'll be doing kind of top tier lists of books that we've read, or we'll also be doing kind of like writing advice videos here and there. Anything else?
monthly review.
Oh yeah,
videos.
we'll do a monthly book review video as well.
Yeah, and for today we are going to be starting with our top 5 favorite books of all time. So I'll have a top 5. Adam will have a top 5. And as I was picking the books off my shelf, I don't know if this is a true top 5. It's just right now, these are books that stood out to me as some of my favorites of all time. There might be something that I forgot about or missed, but these are my top 5. So
Yeah, and the same kind of thing for me. Like I picked the ones that felt right, the ones that stick in my mind.
all right. So starting with my number 5, I got The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. The elevator pitch for this is imagine that you make a deal with the devil to be owned by no man. And the devil's interpretation of that is that she lives forever, but no one can remember her. So she goes throughout her life. No one can remember who she is. The second she leaves the room, people immediately forget who she is. So naturally, there's some pretty fun ways she can play around with this as far as how she lives her life, where she like the people she meets, the relationship she has. She finds interesting ways to provide for herself. But also, it is a book about the incredible loneliness of immortality. That is my number 5 right there.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
My number 5 is The Name of the Wind by
nice.
Patrick Rothfuss. I know that this book is controversial for so many reasons, but I love it. It's about a young man named Kvothe, whose entire family, his entire troop, basically his entire community was murdered by this fantastical demon group called the Chandrian. So he goes on a quest to hunt them down, and he is just like all sorts of upset about it. And it's very gritty and kind of angsty. But when I first read it, that's what I loved about it the most is the angst. But it's a world that sits in my head and just kind of lives there. The magic system and the world building, Patrick Rothfuss just knocked it out of the park with it. And though a lot of people don't like Kvothe, I have a sort of love-hate relationship with him. I like him well enough, but he can be kind of a dick.
Hey, but also, can we take a moment to appreciate this beautiful edition with the sprayed edges?
Yeah, Pat, if you're listening, you're probably not. Where's Wise Man's Fear special edition? Where is it? We need it, Pat.
I think he's worried about a book that he hasn't released yet. So,
yeah, I still want the special edition of Wise Man's Fear, man.
All right. Okay, this was hard for me because for a couple reasons. So, Game of Thrones is my number 4. It's a little ironic because I actually have not read any other book in A Song of Ice and Fire except for Game of Thrones, mostly because I want to wait for the series to be finished, right? Which just kind of like Pat Rothfuss, we're still waiting. But this genuinely is one of the best books I've read in epic fantasy. It is dark, it's gritty. The characters feel so real. You can't help but empathize with these characters and just root for them. And
yeah, even like the absolute terrible characters.
Even the terrible characters,
like, yeah,
you just they feel
they're
so real
good.
and relatable, and they're good. And you can't anticipate what's coming around every turn. Like, this book has so many twists and turns. I mean, it's also one of the most popular shows of our age. So a lot of you probably know about this book. But if you haven't read the book, seen the show, read the book. The book is so good. It's one of my favorite fantasies of all time.
Yeah, so truly, I have to agree.
Yeah,
super good.
And you've read the whole series, yeah? Well, everything that's released,
everything
right?
that's out. Yeah, I've gone through it all. Super good.
Yeah.
All right, my fourth place is Sword of Destiny.
Oh, nice.
It's the second book in the Witcher series, or like the second like technical book, right? Because Andres did 2 anthologies, right? So this is the second anthology. And don't get me wrong, I love The Last Wish, but Sword of Destiny is what really pulled me into the world of The Witcher. I can't exactly tell you what it's about because it's like 5 stories, I think, in this one book. But each story is different. Each story explores Geralt in a way that's just different and really grounds him as a character. And so reading The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny before getting into the rest of the world of The Witcher is like super important. Like even if you've only played the games and you haven't read these 2, read them. They're incredible. Some of my favorite books to just like sit down and read, or like even pull up when I'm not wanting to read something like big, just pull one of these stories out, read it. Super fun.
Now I've read Last Wish.
Mhm.
I have not read this one.
Yeah.
Is it similar in that the stories, though they are separate stories in his life, they do kind of connect in the end. They are brought together for an overall story.
Mm-hmm.
Is it similar in this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very similar, kind of like thematically
Okay.
of how it is. I'm pretty sure he's still with Neneke, like he is in the first one, and she's kind of like between the stories. There's the interludes, and she's kind of like talking to him about like life, and he's just like, "Leave me alone. I don't want to do this. I just want to be a Witcher. Like I don't want any connections." This is where it really kind of starts tying into Ciri and things like that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Let's see. All right. Ooh, I'm excited for this one. Okay, so my number 3 is going to be The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson.
This almost was my number 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. The Hero of Ages, my goodness, what to say about this book? It is the 3rd book in the Mistborn trilogy. Brandon Sanderson is arguably the most popular fantasy author living today. This book, it's hard to talk about it without getting into anything that's spoilery. But essentially, it's a unique magic system in a world that is just covered in like ash. This book has one of the most emotional and surprising climaxes in any fantasy book I've ever read. And Brandon Sanderson is my favorite author of all time. This is my favorite Brandon Sanderson book. Even considering Stormlight Archive, which is kind of his magnum opus. People say it's like the main series of his worlds that he's created. This is still my number 1 Brandon Sanderson book of all time. So if you haven't read the Mistborn series, do it, because it's going to be a little while to get to this one. This is the 3rd book, and these books are kind of long, right? But it's worth it, because this book really ties things together. It's amazing.
Yeah. Awesome. So for my number 3 spot, I chose Incidents Around the House. I literally just finished this on Friday night.
Okay.
Or no, it was Thursday night. I just finished this on Thursday night.
Guys, he's been talking about this book nonstop, right? He every few days he is commenting in our Discord about how scared out of his mind he is reading this book.
It is the best horror novel I have ever read, hands down. And I read a lot of horror. I love, of course, it's all subjective, right? But it has every single thing that I love about horror in one book. So to tell you a little bit about what it's about this 8-year-old girl who starts seeing this ghost kind of thing, and it's haunting her. And it is just the creepiest monster I've ever read in any book, like ever. Well, that might be debatable, but one of the creepiest, but very original monster. It does not have a happy ending, which is something that most modern horror is missing out on. It scared the hell out of me. Every single night I would read a couple chapters of this and then like not want to get out of bed. Like I felt like a little kid. I didn't want to get out from under the covers. And when I did have to, I felt like the monster, which is called Other Mommy, was like right behind me, just like watching me. It creeped me out, and I can't stop thinking about it.
I think I should start calling you Other Daddy.
Yeah,
that's your new nickname.
Okay. And anyway, fantastic book. If you are looking for a scare at any time in your life, but especially since we're going into spooky season, this is it. This is the one. Josh Malerman, he wrote Bird Box, if you've seen that on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Fantastic. Fan-bloody-tastic. Highly recommend.
Okay, very good. All right. Oh, I'm so excited for this one. My number 2. Oh, this is such a good book. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Adam read this recently as well. In fact, a lot of members of our writing group have read this recently.
We didn't really mention that at the beginning. We're in a writing group,
We are in a writing group.
which is kind of like why we're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this book, it is so good. And there's definitely a big hype around it right now because there is a movie coming out next year with
Ryan Gosling.
With Ryan Gosling playing the main character. I mean, essentially, this is an apocalyptic space story. The world is going to end. This man wakes up with amnesia in outer space. He doesn't know why he's there, but he slowly finds out that he is responsible for this mission to save the world. And he has to slowly find out why he's there, what's going on. It's a really, really good book. The audiobook is amazing. One of the best audiobook narrators I've ever heard, and I definitely recommend it. There's a special treat. If you are an audiobook listener, there's I don't know how to say it. There's a reason why the audiobook is unique. Just trust me on that. It's a unique audiobook.
It is very unique. I will attest to that.
Yeah. And this book is so wholesome. It's so easy to have a book with the world or universe ending and it be really like down and just really depressing. But it's such a wholesome book about humanity.
Yeah, it really is.
I liked it a lot.
Wholesome through and through.
Oh, I'm so excited for the movie. It's gonna be good.
Okay,
Let's see your
number 2 is Hero of Ages. So I'm reading this currently with my wife, who has been adamantly anti-nerd since before we were even married, and somehow she ended up with me. And I bought her. So my wife's Chilean, and I bought her the Spanish versions of them years ago, and she just couldn't get into it. And so this year I decided I was going to reread them. I kind of forced her to read them with me. She wasn't liking it until Vin met Elend, and then she just kind of started falling in love with him because of the romance aspect.
So much so.
Yeah, so much so that we're having our first child in January, and his name will be Elend. And that's coming from her, not even me. She was the one to suggest that. So
it's cool.
My wife is full nerd now. She is loving these books, which I'm so glad about. So much so that she's probably going to continue the Cosmere. And we're almost done. Just like Austin was saying, I'm so excited to get to the climax. I am almost there. And it is such a spectacular ride. Like the last third of this book is just like, you just kind of get thrown around and you can't help but feel all of the emotions. And this is probably the first book that made me cry when I first read it.
I'm excited for Kelly to get to the ending.
She's going to be bawling.
Last night we were talking about this book, but we were dancing around some of the spoilers.
Yeah.
Because she's right there. She's going to learn it all in just a second.
Yeah. So, and I also have this cool bookmark that I got at Dragon's Steel.
Oh, which one's that?
It's the
that's amazing.
With her Koloss sword.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That's my second one. I won't go any more about that because Austin kind of hit all the points. So.
Yeah. All right. My number 1 of all time is going to be Dune by Frank Herbert. This book legitimately changed my life. It's popular right now. Obviously, we got 2 amazing movies with the third on the way that really knocked it out of the park depicting this world from Frank Herbert. People think this is a sci-fi novel. It is not. It is a commentary on religion, politics, ecology, tyranny. There's so many things about this book, and
capitalism.
Yeah. It just happens to be framed in a sci-fi setting.
But it's almost fantasy too. There's a lot of fantastical elements.
It's true. It's more of a science fantasy, right? It's not super hard to get into. If you're not a science-minded person, you don't have to be to understand this book. It is a lot more focused on the character relationships, the politics, the commentary on religion. And this certainly did change the way I see the world. I read this book and it changed my perspective. Paul Atreides, what a guy.
Yeah. Fear is the Mind Killer.
Fear is the Mind Killer.
All right, my number 1 book also changed my life. It by Stephen King, another controversial one.
Is this the scary monster you were referring to earlier?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's hard for me to go into Stephen King and talk about his monsters just because I have a theory that is so spoilery that I can't talk about.
We'll talk about it later.
About Pennywise. Okay, I have a huge theory about Pennywise that I can't talk about. because it's so spoilery. This book I've read 3 times. Now it's a thick boy. It is probably one of the most well-organized pieces of fiction out there, in my opinion. The way that King went through and organized the memories of when the Losers Club was kids and when they're adults, and how they defeated Pennywise then and how they defeated him when they're adults, is just so like well done. And the writing in here is phenomenal. I have so much underlined and so many pages dog-eared. Yes, I'm a heathen. I dog-ear my pages and I underline like crazy. This is probably my most underlined and dog-eared book that I have. I was bawling at the end of it. Just such a heartwarming story in such a dark setting. The setting of Derry is creepy. Like it's the whole thing is haunted, and it's all because of Pennywise and and the clown and the shape-shifting monster that it is. I don't feel like I need to tell you what it's about. Most people know what it is about at this point. The movies do a decent job of capturing the spirit of it, but if you want just one of the best stories out there in all of fiction, this is it.
This is it.
This is it.
All right.
Alrighty.
I've never read anything by Stephen King. Well, that's not true. I've read some short stories, but I've never read a novel by Stephen King. But I have heard that this is his crowning jewel.
Yeah, either that or The Stand.
The Stand. I've heard The Stand is good as well.
The Stand is really good. I still prefer it.
Okay.
Though.
Well, that's our top 5 list of sci-fi fantasy books.
Yeah.
This is great because I actually have only read one of the books on your list, so I got some good recommendations. Yeah,
Okay,
I've only
nice.
read Hero of Ages, the rest of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta branch out, man.
All right, should we talk about the upcoming books we're going to be reading?
Yeah.
All right, so first book we're going to be reading. I've heard so many amazing things about this book and about this author. We got Babel by R.F. Kuang. Haven't read it yet, so I can't tell you much about it, but it's an alternate history. It has to do with, I think it has to do with a little bit about like a critique on colonialism. It has to do with like a magical translators guild. That's really all I know, but I've only heard good things about this book.
Honestly, I have no idea what it's about.
Really?
I picked it up because I read the Poppy Wars series.
Yes,
and I
author
loved
of the
it.
Poppy Wars.
And I was like, oh, I got to get more of her stuff after I read Poppy Wars. So I snagged it. And so I'm glad you knew a little bit about what it's about because I had no idea.
That's it. That's all I know. I really don't know much. But it is a dark academia. So this is going to be the first book we read in the next coming weeks.
Yeah.
So.
And then next book that we're going to read that we've decided on is Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman. I have seen this book everywhere for like probably the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been on my wish list for probably just as long. And I finally just like bought it. And it's a medieval horror. From what I understand, it's historical fiction, kind of based during the plague times. And beyond that, I don't know what else it's about, but I'm so stoked to read something that combines like medieval kind of fantasy-esque things and history, and just see where it goes.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, we're super excited. If you guys have suggestions on books you'd like us to review, we're totally open to it. We like to read. We'll read anything, and we'll give you our honest opinions on it.
Yeah, we certainly will.
Yeah.
Alrighty, man.
Good job.
Oh yeah.